Good morning, everyone. I'd like to discuss today this module from a Cadillac XLR 2004 and 2005. If you're familiar with this car and you have this problem, this video may interest you. This module runs the magneride system, and it has a tendency to get wet and short out because it's in the trunk of your car and it's not very well protected. As you can see in there and see the circuit board is exposed. Gives it makes it subject to corrosion, gets wet, shorts out. Well, I've been able to build a bypass module for this module. It basically just bypasses the whole thing and tricks the main computer into thinking everything's okay. Now, if you have one of these and and it's working, and you've changed over to regular shocks and are using these simulators, that's great, and they work pretty good. This one goes on the shock absorber, and this one goes on the ride height sensor, and it tricks the computer into thinking everything's okay. Well, if you're doing that, then you basically don't need this, and you could just go with a bypass module, and then you could end up selling this off for $3 grand or so. Well, I'll show you how to hook up my bypass module here. Here's the power plug that goes right in here. You've got your power, which is your red, your ground, which is your black, and then you've got this pink here, which is your ignition. It doesn't look like this. I rigged this up so I could put it back the way it was if I ever needed to. But what you're going to do is if you get one of these bypass modules, you're just going to hook it up so that you've got your ignition on the yellow, your ground on the black, and your power on the red, and you're going to splice into there, and then you're going to slide that on like that to power it up. Now, the other thing you're going to need is what's known as the GM LAN lines. Those are the CAN bus that connects the main computer to the suspension module and allows the computer to read everything. What it is there is a wire, it's going to look like this. This is not the plug for this one, but it looks, just showing you what the colors look like. You've got a tan wire, and you've got a wire with a black stripe through it. Now, it's going to be on the plug that goes into this part of the module here, this particular section right here. It's going to have two wires coming in and two of those tan with a black stripe wires coming out. Now, you'll know which ones are going in because they're the ones coming from the bottom of the car, and the ones coming out are going to be routed over around to the other side and going back into your car. So you'll be able to figure that out pretty easily. What I've done is I've got these things. Now, this is going to be your output. Make sure you hook up your output correctly. You're going to use your tan and black wire. You're going to hook it up to the black wire here, and then you're going to use your tan wire and hook it up to this wire here. And you're going to do the same thing for the wires that are going in, the tan and the tan with the black stripe, and you're going to hook that up into this, and then this is just going to plug in like this. Now, if you get one of these modules from me, I'll try to include some extra ones like this, and also ones like this, so that you can route it back into the way it should be in case you ever want to switch it back the way it was. You don't want to just splice the wires and not have a way to put it back. But I built a bypass module, and it's in this little case right here. You can see, but it's a little bit bigger than the original module. I did that to hold everything in there so it doesn't come out. I've got some simulators hooked up in here. They're very similar to these, and and then it's all included in there. So if you're interested in bypassing your module and you want to learn some more how to do it, or you want to purchase one of these from me, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. I'll try to leave a link to my email address so you can contact me. And if you have any questions about it, you let me know. But these things are very expensive to replace, and you may not want to replace it. You could theoretically hook the whole thing up, and my bypass module, you could hook it up to the original magride system if you wanted to splice all 27 wires. I don't really think you want to do that, but if you did, I can show you how to do that also. If that's what you want to do, but you know, that's a lot of head down in the trunk. You know, that's a lot of work. But the way I splice wires is I have what's called these little solder connection. Now you see right here, there's a piece of solder in there, and what you can do is you get like a piece of wire like this. Take these two wires and this is just for demonstration purposes. You just kind of twist them together like that. You slide this over the top of it, pull that solder until it's right dead on with the wires that you've spun together, and then you get yourself a nice heat gun like this. These are pretty cheap. I got this on Amazon for about 16 bucks. Some stuff stuck on there, and you just heat that up, and that solder will melt, and it'll seal it up really good. And then you can take something like this over the top of it, heat that up, and you've got a nice heat shrink connection that looks really good. And that's the way I do it. There's some other tricks that you'll probably find out on your own once you start working with these type of things. But you know, you just basically want to hook up your power, splice in to this this plug right here with your power, and the GM landlines, you want to get those hooked into here, and you're set to go. The only thing I would say is before you hook up the power, to disconnect the battery, because that this particular wire, this plug right here, is live all the time. Now the ignitions isn't live, but the plug is. So the power and the ground, if you check the current on it, you'll find out it's about 12 volts, so it's live. So you want to disconnect the battery before you go slicing into here. You can end up, you know, blowing a fuse or shocking yourself or destroying your car, and you don't want that. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. I'll leave my email address down below, and hopefully you'll contact me, and we'll discuss how it works. Thank you, and have a good night.